Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Sutton.
And I'm Sarah Carkish.
And welcome to the Ocean Springs Community Live Show. This is a show where we talk about the arts, the culture, history, everything that's going on in the community of Ocean Springs. And today we are here in a cool new studio at the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Center. So, as always, we kind of like to start and tell you guys a little bit about what's going on in the community of Ocean Springs. We have some upcoming events that we want to tell you about and remind you of. A cool one that just happened today is we have a ribbon cutting coming up on Thursday at the Ocean Springs Daiquiri Company.
We all know where that is. It's where the old French Kiss used to be.
Right in downtown. Yeah. So that's cool. Right across from one we had last week. So that's kind of neat.
The Jamaican restaurant.
Yes.
Fabulous. I ate there last week.
Okay, so it was good, wasn't it? And then we also have coming up, it is Mardi Gras season. So although we can't have our Mardi Gras parades, we're still going to do fun Mardi Gras stuff. So one thing that we're doing is something called Crew of Porches. So we're asking residents and business owners to decorate their storefronts.
Yes. So we'll have Mardi Gras to some capacity this year, thank goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And so, we'll link that information on the bottom of our page here. So if you are interested, that you can join in with us in the community and participate in that event.
Yes, it's a contest, right?
It is, that's right. And those that enter, we're actually raising money for art scholarships.
Wonderful.
In Ocean Springs.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we want more artists to be here in Ocean Springs, so we're going to help. In addition to that, we also have another thing for artists coming up, the Spring Arts Festival.
Yes, March 27th and 28th.
Yes, and that's going to be in downtown Ocean Springs. So we're going to have about 150 artists.
Our local creatives will be involved this year.
Yes, they will. I'm
First
excited
time.
about that.
Me
so
too.
that's going to be a fun event coming up. And then, of course, we are going to bring back a few of our networking events. We're going to try to stay as virtual as possible.
Yes.
So we're going to bring back, we have our first Breakfast with the Mayor event coming up on February 10th. So to kind of get started with that, it's the new year, new things happening. So I have a guest with me here today. So I'm going to bring up Mayor Shay Dobson, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what's coming up for this year. Mayor, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Excited about the show.
Thanks. And we're here at the Mary C, so that's kind of neat. There's always some fun things going on at the Mary C. It's growing and changing, so thank you for being a part of that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, 2020 was an interesting year.
That's a good word for it.
So tell me, no mayor ever has had to deal with a pandemic like we all have this 2020. So tell me a little bit about how you handled that. Some of the things that you did. I know you did a lot of behind the scenes work that people in the community didn't see. How you tried to still make things move and go and pull the community together.
Yeah. So whenever the pandemic was first starting, there was so many unknowns. Nobody really knew what to expect. Not only on the economy wise, but our health and just as far as how do we proceed? So one of the first things we did, actually, I think we were one of the first cities on the coast to just start getting our department heads together, getting stakeholders throughout the community, and figure out what the best course of action was. We wanted to strike a balance between staying healthy and making sure that we put in the proper protocols to keep everybody safe, but at the same time keeping our economy going. So we were actually one of the first ones. So actually, let me step back. I started coordinating with all the other mayors on the coast. We would have meetings twice a week, and eventually, we would just always be in contact with each other.
Trying to figure out, I guess, what's going on.
Try to figure, best practices, see what everybody else is experiencing. So anyway, we put in some more stringent guidelines and restrictions that the state had. Eventually, the state's guidelines kind of caught up with where we were, so we just pulled it back, and now we default to the state. But anyway, when I got into office, we put together a lot of enhanced cybersecurity initiatives.
Right.
We did everything we can to make sure that we put in the streaming in the boardroom. So there were some things that we had done previous that we had no idea we were prepping for COVID, but that made us weather the storm a lot easier. And it's still out there, and people need to be safe. But I think one thing we need to do is make sure that we are recognizing that we got to keep people working. We got to let people put food on the table.
Right, and you did a wonderful job. That behind the scenes, a lot of times you were organizing community meetings and things like that just to keep our local businesses informed of what the rules were, what was going on, because everybody got scared kind of during the time, especially at the beginning of it. And like you said, everything you had prepped up kind of helped.
That's right. Yeah. And I remember that first meeting we had right outside the chamber parking lot where we had all the business owners down, and just let them know what they could expect. And there was a lot of questions that even we couldn't answer, because things were changing by the hour almost.
Right.
And so, we've tried to do everything we can to keep everybody informed. Our poor attorney, she's been having to, and all the attorneys around the coast have been having to, really keep up to date with the changing landscape.
Right.
And, anytime a new order comes down, okay, we got to flip through it, see exactly what that means for us and, our specific, businesses and such. And so, there was a lot of stuff going on and behind the scenes that maybe a lot of people didn't realize, but it was stressful, but we were able to get through it with teamwork and
right.
the measures we had put in place before that to to enhance our cybersecurity and such.
And like you said, so you put a lot of things in place. So you guys were still working, building a community in a sense, still through this in 2020. And as we come into 2021 now, so what do you kind of see for 2021? You've had a lot of projects that you've had on the plate lately, especially during the COVID year.
Yeah.
So what do you see?
So obviously COVID, kind of made us have to punt on some things and delay some implementation of some projects and such. But actually my favorite project that we have going on in the city is the fire training facility and fire training tower, and that is going to be completed early this year. It is going to help with all the insurance rates, both commercial and residential. The bulk of the savings will be seen on the commercial side. But so it's an economic tool, but I mean, obviously the most important aspect of it is the enhanced training for our firefighters. Like I said, our rating will go down.
Nice.
And it's just going to be, it's the first of its kind in Jackson County, and so we'll be able to partner with other communities and other agencies and such to make sure that not only we're getting the best training possible, but that everybody in Jackson County is getting the best training as possible.
Nice,
The police will be able to do training in there as well, so it's not just firefighters and stuff. But,
I know they kind of have a rivalry, fire and police.
Yeah, but it's one thing that we've tried to do is make sure everybody's working together and streamline all of our process, our communication and stuff. So there's a healthy rivalry there, but I grew up a cops kid, so I understand it. I saw it firsthand.
So that's cool. So that's something new that's been happening for 2021. Do you have any visions or anything that you want to see happen in 2021? I know that you're big on being in the digital age, and fortunately, we've had to become digital and virtual. So we have a lot of upcoming events that we're doing that's virtual as well, like Breakfast with the Mayor. That's coming up, and that's going to be really virtual. But do you have anything else that you want to see coming up this year? Well,
one thing that we're doing here in the Mary C is we're kind of expanding. We're not just going towards traditional canvas and painting, which is great, that we want to keep doing that as well. But we want to expand and do more digital stuff in the Mary C. And so we do have some ideas. I don't want to get into that too much right now, but there will be more of a digital footprint happening at the Mary C. And like I said, we're always trying to make sure that we build on all of our cybersecurity and all of our cyber, advancements that we've done already. And so, I'm excited. One thing that I've been working on with the Walter Anderson Museum is making sure that we get some more art into City Hall. So, looking to have, cool. get some more of that. And just a lot of projects that we've been, like I said, that had been pushed back or delayed because of COVID. Looking to go ahead and get all of that squared away and ready for the citizens. Awesome. So it sounds like hopefully it's going to be a busy, a fun, and a good year. All the above. All the above.
So, like I said, we do have Breakfast with the Mayor coming up. So that's the next major event that we have for you that the citizens will get to hear from our mayor. But I know you're busy, so I want to thank you so much for your time, taking some time out to talk to a little bit about the community. Let them know that we're all ready for 2021 and some cool things are going to happen this year. Thank you, I appreciate you having me, and everybody watch out for Breakfast with the Mayor. We'll have some announcements and a lot of stuff that we'll be excited to unveil. So, Sounds good. So like I was saying, we'll put that information up on again underneath our video, a little bit about those events. Breakfast with the Mayor coming up. But we are here at the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Center, which of course is a mecca for art. So what I'm going to do right now is turn it over to Sarah to tell you a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Cynthia. We're here today with Paulette Dove. She is a mixed media artist and a local creatives member. Currently, she has a featured artist show in the local creatives gallery, along with Lihia Romer. Paulette, thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about life in the studio during a pandemic.
It's different, and it's a lifesaver. It's wonderful.
Really?
It really is.
That's not what I
There's
expected.
no interruptions. I had a studio full of students, and I shut all that down out of safety issues and decided to seize the opportunity and create new bodies of work on old bodies of work, and make this a new transition for my own work and develop an inventory. So I just made the most of it.
So has the pandemic changed your approach to art making?
It's allowed me to be more experimental. And before I might have had deadlines, which I don't have deadlines too much anymore. There's not that many shows coming up. So I'm able to investigate, not be afraid of failure, but to try new things.
Yeah, nice. So I want to show a few of the smaller pieces that are downstairs in the gallery to see kind of the transition of process that you've made. So here we have, your mixed media art. It's acrylics on canvas, and you've done some thread work on here.
Right, that was a study in background, and it started out experimental, and it was right when the pandemic started. And my mother would be so proud that I pulled out my Singer sewing machine and went to town on it. And still using a motif that I use as the round circle, which represents opportunities.
Yeah, we're seeing that in the old work and the new work.
Yes.
So down here, you've brought a few pieces that you've currently made.
This is the newest.
Yeah. After curating your show, we've had many discussions about these red balls we see in all of your work.
They're not tomatoes. They're not bowling balls. They're opportunities.
Yeah, and so your characters, they're animals, but they represent humans, and
Yes.
they're always trying to catch or seek or grasp a red ball.
It's a good example of allowing the artist to talk about the work and then making your ideas about what it is about. People always come up to me and they can't figure it out. One, why a rabbit? Two, why these red balls? And then after the discussion, it's like a light bulb goes off, and they understand they're all narratives, they're stories, seizing opportunities.
Anyone can relate to that.
Yes.
So in your life, what is your red ball? What's your object of desire?
I think it's observation. I am the biggest observer there is of people, places. Even the Red Pants series, it started from observation. I was over in New Orleans visiting my son, and he was sitting on an abandoned couch in red striped pants. And I went, oh my gosh.
Just
for
instant
me, that
inspiration.
was a new expanding on what I was already doing, another way.
Well, you can see Paulette's work downstairs in the local creatives gallery. It is open on Thursday and Friday from 10 to 4 and Saturday from 10 to 2. Paulette, do you have any other shows now or coming up?
We do. I'm part of a show that will be coming up at the Ore Museum in March. Nice. That'll be online. And also we have an ongoing show of a group I'm in, the South Mississippi Art League at the Biloxi Visitor Center. They have allowed us to take over and have a rotating show there for probably another year.
Well, Paulette, thank you for coming today. Thank you for
Wonderful
being
to
a
promote the
light
arts.
to our community and an inspiration to us all. Always, we love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, a lot of fun things going on throughout the community. That was really exciting to kind of hear how an artist kind of comes up with the pieces that they make. It's really cool to kind of delve into their minds for a little bit. So that was really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know the pandemic, I'm an artist as well, has changed the way that I think about making art, and it's kind of gotten me out of a few ruts. So like Paulette, I can kind of agree with that. But yeah, it's been really interesting to see how all of our local creatives have handled this pandemic and all the inventory they've collected. So we're ready for the Spring Arts Festival
coming up in March. So again, We had some wonderful guests on the show today, getting you guys ready for 2021. We are ready here in Ocean Springs. And signing off, I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Sarah.
And we'll see you next time for the Ocean Springs Community Live Show.